Greetings, welcome, hello, Midog. So we're going to do some Tai Chi today. We're working on cross connections, the connections between our hands and our feet, or our wrists and our ankles, our knees and our elbows, our hips and our shoulders, and of course everything connected with our center. So let's go through our checklist. I always start with my heels together, you don't have to. And we're connecting our minds with our bodies right here, right now. No distraction, no laziness, no boredom, giving what we're doing right here, right now, our full attention, and connecting that attention with our center. So visualize a ball in your belly, a fist-sized ball. I imagine it about the size of a fist. You can imagine it's smaller than that or bigger than that. But imagine the very center of that ball is about 3 fingers below the belly button and in the very center of the body. So closer to the spine than to the front of the body. That ball takes in all the spine, the lower abdomen, all deep inside. And feel as if you're tensing or clenching that fist-sized ball, or tensing deep inside like you're holding in a bit of flatulence, like you're holding in a bit of wind. Now use that tense and that clenching to sink the lower ribs on the front of the body. Use that tense and that clenching to fill the lower back. Use that tense and the clenching to push down and make sure that the sacrum, the SI joint, the sacroiliac joint is upright. So it's not tilting forwards at the top or at the bottom there, it's upright. Use that tense and that clenching to push down through that joint, down through the legs, down through the very center of the feet, pushing down to the heels. Use that tense and clenching to push up through the body. Push the toes off the ground. Use that tense and that clenching to pull the perineum up. Use that tense and that clenching to push the tongue and the roof of the mouth. Use that tense and that clenching to push the very top of the head up against the heavens. Keeping the tongue and the roof of the mouth. Keep that engagement with your center. Keep the perineum pulled up ever so slightly, and keep the connection between your center of gravity at the top of the head and the very center of the feet as you relax the tense and the clenching, the lifting, and just lower everything down through the very center of your feet. And keeping that connection between your center of gravity and your extremities, the top of the head, the center of the feet, and the center of the hands. And you can just step out into a shoulder width stance. So as I said, connecting our minds with our bodies right here, right now. No distraction, no laziness, no boredom, giving what we're doing right here, right now, your full attention. Use that tension and your engagement with your center to do a slight turning of your center and setting yourself into motion. Turning from your center, setting yourself into motion. So you feel as if you are suspended from above. Imagine you have a long ponytail on the top of the head. Imagine that's tied up to the rafters. Your pelvic area, that SI joint, sacroiliac joint, the sacrum part of the spine and the join, the sacrum part of the spine and the blades of the pelvis, the ilium, they make up the pelvis, and joined by the sacroiliac joint, the SI joint there. The cartilage, the ligaments, they're actually stronger than the bones. Really important joint, has the potential of a very wide range of movement. When it's held upright and you're using it efficiently. So feel this joint upright, but feel the whole of the pelvic area hanging down from our suspension from above, hanging down plumb, your counterweight keeping you nice and upright. Turning, 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 sinking down. Feeling your legs reacting, responding naturally to the movement of the body, to gravity's pull, to the ground floor, or to the ground reaction force. Turning to your legs, using your legs as the shock absorbers they evolved to be used as. Evolution makes the most sense to me for our origin story. I think I might class myself as being an agnostic. But yeah, evolution makes the most sense to me for our origin story. And our legs evolved from, I believe, from quadrupeds, four-legged animals, into knuckle walkers, into true bipedal humanoids, Homo sapiens that we are. And our legs carried our early ancestors far and wide, conquering is that the right word? Conquering they did, I suppose, but discovering new territories, new fertile grounds to further our species. So the importance of using your legs, how they evolved to be used as shock absorbers for your propulsion, for getting you around. Turning your waist, feet flat on the floor, feel the feet spreading out, maximum coverage of the feet on the floor to support us in our bipedal stance. Turning, 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 and I always start my waist turning like this. Have this groove folding in when the legs are as full as you can do it. The other way like this. You can do it with the toes raising. You can do it on one leg. I've gone into a lot of details of these waist turning exercises in previous films, and if you want to visit any of them, you can check the link up there. Okay, so again, connecting our minds, bodies right here, right now. No distraction, no laziness, no boredom. Connecting with our center. And just start to shift from side to side. So we're not going to be doing a lot of foot movement in this video, in this film. No, it is important to move. With our Tai Chi forms, we are always stepping, moving, but in this film we're going to be concentrating. We're going to be working from this shoulder width stance, pushing from side to side. So we're not swaying here. We're not throwing the hips out. We're not leaning. We're not throwing the knees out. Sinking straight down. As you sink down, the knee goes forwards, the hip goes backwards. Knee goes no further forward than the toes. Keeping this joint upright. Make sure you're not sticking your bum out. Sink the ribs to fill the lower back. Sink the chest around the upper back. Tuck the chin in Feel like you're touching the neck back against the collar of a shirt while keeping the jaw parallel to the floor. So we know it's important that we do have the double S shape of the spine for shock absorption and for weight bearing. But modern living, as modern humans, and the things that we repeatedly do, it can exaggerate these curves, and we can get this textures neck, the head going forward, chest out, lower back in, bum out. And when the curves are really exaggerated like that, the spine loses a lot of its shock absorbing and weight bearing properties or potentials, and you start to get back problems and postural issues and movement issues there. So spinal alignment, really, really, really important. So tuck the chin in, sink the chest, not hollow the chest, round the back, not hunch the back, sink the ribs, not hollow the ribs there, sink the ribs, fill the lower back. So you're not, sink the ribs to fill the lower back and making sure the SI joint is upright, and then feel that lengthening. Pelvic area hanging down from the pelvis, from this suspension from above, lengthening that spine. Sinking from side to side, breathing in and breathing out. Really feel as if you're breathing into the area about 3 fingers below the belly button and in the center of your body. The dantian, the field of the elixir. Put your mind, your awareness, your thoughts into the area there. The mind. What is the mind? I'm probably teaching you to suck eggs here. But the mind, a lot of people think that the brain and the mind are the same thing. The brain is a component of the mind, but the mind is consciousness. It's all of the things we've experienced in life through our through what we've done, through our emotions, through our feelings. The mind is more than just the brain. But if you think the mind and the brain are the same thing, then the mind will settle in the brain. The brain is where you keep you store your memories, your thought patterns, your programs of how to do things. And if the mind is set up there, it can race, constantly accessing those thought patterns, those memories, those programs there, and the mind can race. In Buddhism, they say it's like a monkey in a tree jumping from branch to branch to branch. So we try to calm the mind down by placing the mind into this area here. It's the area about 3 fingers below the belly button in the center of the body. This should quieten the mind down. It lowers your center of gravity, and it kickstarts that internal alchemic process. The yi in the dantian, the intent in the dantian. It's like the spark igniting that furnace at your center. If you believe in this mumbo jumbo, I really do. Breathing, but not the emphasis of this film, of this video. So breathing, really feeling the spring, the bounce, the elasticity, the jing power of the body. So it's not just muscular here. We're really feeling the elasticity of the connective tissue against the healthy alignment of your skeletal system. You get your alignment, your connectivity, your biotensegrity right there, then kind of the body just holds itself up with a minimal amount of muscular effort. So that tensegrity. And you really feel, in that tensegrity, you really feel a bounce. Like a ball has tensegrity. Its structure, it rebounds off the ground. And your body, when you get the tensegrity right, rebounds off the ground as well. Breathing in, really feel the feet spreading out. We have those longitudinal arches and the widthways arches there forming that dome along the soles of the feet. So feel those domes flattening and then taking their shape back. We want to soften the instep, the bone tissue above the arch of the feet, inside arch of the feet, feels as soft as cotton wool. In previous film, I worked a lot on the superficial front line. Superficial front line, one of those anatomy trains, the 12 anatomy trains that runs from the instep up to the outside of the knee, from the toes to the outside of the knee, up the thighs, connecting to the hips, what we call the hip bone here. Functionally joined through the inguinal area here, starting again at the pubic bone, up to the sternum, and wrapping around the back of the head, keeping you nice and upright. So that band that runs from the instep, it helps to pull the instep up and stabilizing the knee and pulling the instep up, really putting that spring into your step. I've been thinking a lot about flat feet. I haven't got flat feet. I'm thinking about flat feet, and everything I've read is, once you've got flat feet, that's it, permanently flat feet. I don't believe that. I believe if you over time, we do look for a quick fix as modern humans. They're quick fix, something we can do, surgery or a tablet we can do. But I think if you really work on the architecture and the functionality of your feet, I wear minimalistic shoes. Wide toe boxers. These are they haven't any support on them whatsoever. They're like socks with a grip on them. And if you let your feet, if you use your feet how they evolved to be used, then they strengthen accordingly to the stresses that you put them under. So I don't have a lot of support there on the arches or anything there. So my feet, they strengthen through necessity, through the things I do with them. And the same is true when you wear shoes with lots of support on the arches, air under the soles, toe boxes cramping the feet together, ankle supports there. Then your central nervous system, hardwired to preserve and save energy. They will take its energies away from strengthening those areas. If you have the support in your footwear there, it takes its energies away from strengthening those areas there. So it's use it or lose it. But this is not the emphasis of this film here. But I think it's important to use your feet as they evolve to be used. Really feel the feet spreading out, feel the pump of those longitudinal, or those domes on the soles of the feet. Really put that spring in your step, rather than relying on shoes to do that for you. Breathing in. And breathing out. And then we can start, you can mirror me here. So lower the weight of the body down through your left leg. Breathing in, left leg to right leg, push up the right arm. Breathing out, lower the right arm down through the right leg. Breathing in, right to left leg, push up the left arm. Breathing out, lowering it down. Breathing in. And breathing out. I've gone into a lot of detail of these cross-connection exercises here, these cross-connection exercises here in previous films. But it's not lots of separate movements here. Feel these rotations traveling all the way up through the body. Feet, feel that pump of the foot, flattening. Even though the foot's staying flat on the floor, you feel sort of rolling through your foot. So you're releasing that energy and that flattening and that taking back of its shape. And we have those balls on the soles of the feet that help us to gather momentum as we are moving around. So you are rolling over the feet, gathering momentum as you roll through the feet, feel them spreading out. And feel a rotation traveling up through your ankle, up through the skeletal system, the tibia, the fibia, the bones in the lower limb. The knee rotates ever so slightly when it straightens and bends. Only a degree or two. It's important that it does. That sends the rotation up through the muscles of the thigh. The femur, the thigh bone, has a natural torque to it, like a twist. That sends that rotation up to the hip here. The rotation travels through that joint, through the SI joint. Yeah, that rotation. And rotating through the waist, the layers of the waist. And through the shoulder, rotation at the elbow, and at the wrist. All this happening, it's a chain reaction. Chain reaction. So not lots of separate movements there, it's like you're pushing through. You reach the ultimate conditions within the joints, so you're not squeezing that fluid out of the joints that lubricates them. You're not excessively compressing the joints. You press through, you reach that optimal compression, and rather than squeezing more to squeeze that fluid out of the joints, you push through that compression in the joint to push it out through these kinetic chains of movement. Breathing in and breathing out. Then divide the weight between both legs, put this into both arms. Breathing in, so you still feel those cross connections traveling up through the body, staying quite central here. Breathing in, keeping your good structure. Breathing in, so we have raised hands here, very classic Tai Chi movement here. And there's lots of different variants, so before you go, oh, I don't do it like that in my Tai Chi. Yeah, there's quite a lot of variants of this raised hands. And most Tai Chi forms will commence with some kind of raised hands. I'm doing this as like a Qigong, which Tai Chi. Tai Chi is a form of Qigong, but Qigong, you can't say that all Qigong is Tai Chi. Breathing in. And breathing out. And then drop down. Take them out to the sides, breathing in. And breathing out. Still feel all those chain reactions, still feel a lifting, expansive feeling in the body. Breathing into the dantian, into the belly, which, if you have that analytical mind, anatomy and physiology, you know, the lungs don't make it down into the belly. But mindfully breathing into that board in the belly engages this diaphragm with your breathe in. Also engages the pelvic floor with your breathing. Breathing in. And breathing out. Then let's bring some waist turning into it. I say that, we're going to bring some waist turning on to the next one. Breathing in. And turn your waist to your left. Breathing in. Back to the center. Breathing in, up. And down. We're going to turn to the center here. Breathing in. And breathing out. That feels better than that feels better. Breathing in, turn to the side. I'm staying quite central here, so I'm keeping that straight line down from the top of the head down to that midpoint in between my 2 feet. Breathing in. And breathing out. center. And just breathing in, up. And turn. Bring one arm in front of you, one arm behind you. Breathing in, up. Bring down. Up. Again, keeping those optimal conditions within your joints, so you're not squeezing that fluid out of the joints. You know, in the joints, we have like a sponge-like cartilage that absorbs the fluid from the sinew. The synovial fluid, or synovial fluid, however you want to pronounce it, absorbs that, keeping the joints open, juicy, mobile, fluid. So if you excessively compress the joints, you're squeezing that fluid out of the joints. Same is true if you excessively stretch them and open them, that fluid will leak out as well. So to keep the optimal conditions in the joints so that you push through the joints, and rather than squeezing that joint out, you compress it in the joints and use that compression to push through. Further along these kinetic chains. That's compressing down, not squeezing down, compressing, releasing, breathing in, pushing through. Breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. And you can do this. Stay quite central, like I'm doing here. You can do this where you're really moving quite a big movement from leg to leg. You can do it with that joint, the inguinal area at the top of the thigh. Top of the leg is more open than closed when the leg's at its fullest. Or more closed and open when the leg's at its fullest. But again, you're not completely squeezing that fluid out of the joints. And you're not moving from the hips either. Moving through there, turning the waist, pushing. Turn this waist, turning pushes down into the ground, releasing the compression and pushing up through the body. Turning from the center. Turning, feel. And down. Breathing in. Breathing out. Okay. Interlace the fingers. Interlace the fingers behind your back. Place the fingers behind your back. Moving from your center. I want you to breathing in, engage your center, tense the buttocks, breathing, use that tense and that clenching to push down through the heels and push yourself up onto your tiptoes, pushing yourself up. Hopefully your structure isn't buckling, you're staying up on the toes here. And then I just want you to drop down and keep the swing going. Keep the swing going. Keep the swing going. Keeping the swing going. And as your arms got behind you, I want you to raise your heels. Just bouncing off the ground. Feel all those things that we've been working on happening now, but increase speed. Use that kind of pushing down to bounce. Feel what am I trying to say here? Feel the soles of the feet flattening and then rebounding. Feel yourself bouncing off the ground. As the arms go behind you, bouncing off the ground. And then as arms go up in front of you, bouncing off the ground. But it's not tensing and jumping, just feel the body rebounding. And then do the double. If you feel comfortable and balanced, of course, shaking out your myofascial web, shaking out any knots you might have in the myofascia. You can only do it as long as it's comfortable for you. Feet flat on the floor. Take your arms out to the sides, giving you good structure. And then keeping your arms in front of you, turn to the side, to the center, to the side. Center, just turning. Just got my breath up. That's good. That's good. We know Tai Chi is fast and slow, yin and yang. Don't listen to anybody who tells you it's more one than the other. We practice slow, but from the slowness we learn how to move really fast. We work on all the connectivity, the structure of the body, the tiniest movements of the body, the microcosm. And then when we need to use this, we can use it with power, grace, speed. And then arms in front of you, turn, and back to this one. Everything moving together. And again, I'm staying quite central in this one. Again, just turning the waist, pushing against the good structure, pushing against the ground. Good alignment. So we've worked on the healthy connectivity, good structure, the biotensegrity of the body in our slow movements. Really paying them, giving them our full attention, and through that practice that we've already put in, We can use that structure to move again with speed, grace, power, and strength. But I'm going to finish there. So you can move your feet, you can rub your hands, rub your hands, rub your hands. You're going to rub your face if you feel comfortable rubbing the face, rubbing away those warrior lines, rub the neck, neck and shoulders. Really be mindful of where you're rubbing. If you believe in this stuff, where the mind goes, the chi will follow. Belly, 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 lower back, buttocks, inguinal area, down, knees, rubbing warm, loving, positive energy into your knees, shins and calves and ankles. You can get down there and anywhere you feel needs a bit of TLC. Give it some. So I'm going to finish there, give it a practice, and I will see you in the next film. So I'll say goodbye for now. Goodbye for now.